Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to Vega Conflict. So I didn't get to take out the entire set of the AI targets that I wanted to, and I know that the event has already ended. I'm still going to show the attacks, because I'm not just going to delete the footage or anything like that for once. I'm actually going to upload what I got. I managed to collect from the level 100s, the Abyss, Hellion, and Purgatory, as well as the Hunter Fleet. However, the reason I wasn't capable of recording the rest of them and actually get the video out yesterday like planned, I made a mistake with the Umbra 100 during combat, and as you're going to see during the fight, it cost me a bit of repair time. But I'm going to talk about the Umbra Abyss, Hellion, Purgatory, and Hunter Fleets, more specifically what they dropped. And then I'm going to lay out my thoughts on the mobilization as well as what I think should be done from now on into the future for any events that are not primary monthly events. And I'd like to hear all of your thoughts after I'm done. But let's go ahead and let's get started with the Umbra Abyss 100. The Umbra Abyss 100 dropped 400,000 Blood Amber Shards, Mark IV Wraith Cruiser boxes, 15 to 30 Nova Cannon 3 reusable items, well, 3 usable fragments, not items. I always get that mistaken. Fragments are used to craft. 15 to 30 Blight Element. The Umbra Hellion 100 rewards 400,000 Blood Amber Shards. It dropped Mark IV Ogre Battleship boxes, 15 to 30 Nova missile for reusable item fragments, 15 to 30 biochemistry element,
Battleship. Carrier. Destroyer. Orders received. Proceeding to destination. New vector. Moving out. Battle. Affirmative. Marking orders. Flight forward. Battle. Battle. Affirmative. Destroyer. Proceeding to destination. Moving out. Destroyer. Battle. Orders received. Battleship. On our way.
Umbra Purgatory 100. 400,000 Blood Amber shards, just like the rest. Mark IV Manticore Battlecruiser boxes. 15 to 30 Havoc Cannon for reusable item fragments. 15 to 30 Spectronics element. Finally, we have the Umbra Hunter 100. It rewards 400,000 Blood Amber shards, Mark IV Medusa Destroyer boxes, 15 to 30 Atomic Driver for reusable item fragments, 15 to 30 Gravimetrics element. And that's it for those. Now, my response, and so far what I think of the event, there are a few people that were talking in the forum that lower levels shouldn't be hitting high level targets and partaking in the event, and I'm just gonna quickly hop over to the event store. I'm gonna point something out to everyone. The targets may be geared to high tier players, and this is specifically because the lower levels were hitting high tier targets and it was messing up the points value for everyone else. I could be annoyed by that as well, but I mean, I honestly couldn't care less at times, so I log in, take repair time, log out. It didn't really matter to me. To other people it would matter, and I would just like to point out that although the prizes were mostly high tier, there is also still lower tier stuff in here that they can use. Well, not Altarian tech, because most of it has the same requirement to build as the Umbra and the rest. However, these can be built with a mostly module level 10 base. Same with the exterminators. Scroll down a little bit further, you have again items for the lower tier. Xeno Eclipse Driver, Heavy Eclipse Driver 3. The rest was all fairly straightforward, with the exception of the base tech that I never recommend, and boxes full of tech for lower levels. Now, what I would recommend to avoid this situation from people complaining that they're messing up the points value again, I would advise running 2 mobilizations and 2 decimations simultaneously, with the simple goal of providing high-level event, which is the typical mobilization decimation you think of, that always has high-tier prizes, high-tier targets, rewards, and all of that. And 1 for the lower faction directly under, and remove any and all items that are not of the current faction, and put them in this other shop, as well as include targets for the other shop that the lower levels can get. Now, that'll take a while to run them simultaneously at the same time, because you'll have to account for the points value of each one, or there'll be a specific item that the players receive that is spent in the opposite store. However, it's dealt with. This is just recommendation that I can see as being beneficial and resolving the issue without any further complaints. But it would also open up the ability for an extremely large amount of technology at the lower levels need to advance a little bit more steadily, to be more readily available as decimations, mobilizations, and any other small events are run. Now, on to my thoughts for the event itself. Aside from actually hearing about the complaints and stuff like that, again, I would advise separating it. I would like to make it a strong point for this video as well. The recommendation for this would be, the event was decent for high level players. The lower level players, they had technology that they could acquire from the event store, but again, targets were not plentiful for them, and they resorted to what people were complaining about. They were attacking high level targets, which again is fine because they want to advance as well, and they don't want to wait on strikes, which run once a week. And most of the time, the strike targets that people most likely do not have the time, or they just don't want to give the time to the game. So I think that running high tier, low tier mobilization decimation may be a temporary fix until better stores can be laid out, or another type of event can be run at the same time to allow the lower levels to do something so they're not messing up the points payout of the high tier. Now, as I was saying about the event being decent, the repair time for the damage ratio was actually decent, and this is something I typically don't talk about and I typically don't pay attention to all that much, but what I did this time around was I can say that the event wasn't as bad as when I remember playing the Altarian tier and things like that, where repair time would get quite extensive for extremely high level stuff, but then again I have mostly Mark III and above ships. And that is something else. I want to talk about ship builds and stuff fairly soon, about what I use, so if anyone wants to mimic them and do exactly what I do, you can go right ahead. I'll share them in a different video as it's requested or anything like that. But for now, Mobilization is a decent event in my eyes. The monthly event was a decent event, but we need to separate the events that are other than monthly events into two categories, as I stated: one high tier, one low tier, with the low tier event focused on low tier prizes, low tier targets, low tier rewards for the factions that are being represented by the lower tier event. Now, I would also recommend, now that I think about it, put all high tier, which is current faction technology and targets specifically, put targets, all targets, blitz or regardless, into the Carmine Nebula. That way the separation is high level players in the unknown area and lower level players stay in the sector, so the targets are separated as well, so everyone can go out and do what they're doing and not really interact other than the fact that they can jump each other if they want to. Now again, this is just a suggestion on a short fix to resolve the issue that I don't really see as being an issue, because again, there's low-level prizes here in the event store. Well, not true low-level prizes, but stuff for people trying to advance into the Axis tier and Xeno division. But until they're separated, that will continue to be an issue and things like that. But again, this is just my suggestion of what to do. But that's going to be it for this video, everybody. If you have any suggestions of your own to make, or have anything to say, go ahead and say so below in the comment section. And as always, everybody, I'll see you later.